Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Degenerate Disseminators podcast. I'm your host, Jordan. We're back for another episode. Just me today, unfortunately. Um, Daniel's being social once again, but after I record this, I'm going to be joining him. So I'll see Daniel tonight, but you guys won't. But, anyways, um, hope you guys are having a good weekend as we roll into Sunday here. Going to recap Saturday's bets really quick. Unfortunately, another 1 and 2 day. Um, we had the Buffalo Liberty game. We took the over on that. Fortunately, it didn't come through. I think they had like 9 points at halftime. Um, Liberty was playing a quarterback named Ryan Berger, and he put up a nothing burger of a performance. Let me tell you, 4 for 12 on pass attempts and completions for 40 yards, and he had a quarterback rating of 8.2. Thanks, Ryan. Um, and we also took the Timberwolves -6. They got blown out despite Anthony Edwards' efforts, dropping 53 points with 10 3-pointers in this game. Cade Cunningham decided to drop 40 himself as well. So, yeah, Pistons got that one done. Um, this is kind of one of those games you just can't, like, I don't know. I'm not upset about it. Wasn't a bad beat by any means. The Pistons were just a better team on the court tonight. I watched a decent portion of that game. They were throwing lobs off the glass and shit. Um, yeah, just an overall better team performance from them. Um, and I think the Karl Anthony Towns trade is really hurting the Timberwolves at this point as they drop to I think they're at 500, 17 and 17. Uh, yeah, definitely nowhere near the same team we saw last year. But anyways, and then the funnily enough, the Capitals -1.5. They get it done. They win 7-4 against the Rangers, which is funny because I was our least favored bet to win today, and they cleared very easily, or relatively easily. They did get an empty netter at the end of the game, but they cleared it by more than a goal that we needed. So good job, Capitals. So yeah, 1 and 2 on the day. We go down 2.2 units on the day, which is not very nice. It would have been nice to win a second one, given that I did put a little extra money on that Capitals bet to kind of recover from Friday's bets. Or no, sorry, yeah, Friday's bets. My apologies. Um, but yeah. Anyways, keep the ball rolling. Moving to Sunday. We got 4 picks for you guys today. First game I'm gonna be looking at is the Vikings versus the Lions. Obviously this Sunday there are a lot of NFL games. Um, there's not really that many teams that like need to win. Um, the Buccaneers and the Falcons both need to win, and the Broncos. But it looks like the Chiefs are having their second and third stringers just run this game, just to keep the Bengals out of the playoffs. I believe did they win tonight? I'm sorry. Yeah, they did win tonight by 2 points. Sick. Um, yeah, Bengals would need to lose, and I don't think the Chiefs would want to see the Bengals in the playoffs. So I think they're just giving the Broncos that win and getting them in. So stay away from that game. But yeah, with the Vikings and Lions, these teams are both 14-2, but they're battling for that first seed. Um, the NFC North is just so stacked this season. Um, so yeah, knowing Dan Campbell, I mean, he said it already. They're going out there to win. I mean, I'm assuming that the Vikings are also on the same page, because it'd be kind of shitty to go 14-2 and then lose the last game of the season and then drop all the way to the fifth seed. But I think both teams are definitely coming out to play this one. Um, both teams have good offenses, but they can be scored on, and we've seen this throughout the whole season. I know both games versus the Packers with the Lions this year, they hit the overs. And then even just now against the 49ers last week, the 49ers did put up, significant amount of points on the board. I don't know the exact number, but they definitely had multiple touchdowns and scored a lot more points than people anticipated, I think. And I think we see the same thing here. I think it's going to be a shootout style of a game, very back and forth and very high scoring. I wouldn't be surprised if both teams end up in the 40s um, during this game. So yeah, I think the over is at 56, which is kind of high for my personal preference. But yeah, this is just the game I like most on this slate, and I think this is the game everyone's going to be watching tomorrow. And yeah, I expect a lot to happen here. And then the other game I'm looking at is the Texans versus the Titans. The Texans are already locked into the playoffs, but I do think the Titans are in tank mode at the moment. It looks like the starters will be playing for the Texans anyways, and they're catching plus 1.5 points. Um, Yeah, I don't think I think the Titans want to lose this game intentionally. Um, yeah, the Texans catching plus 1.5 is just steal in my opinion. Honestly, if you guys want to tweak it, maybe you know, uh, take away some points from the Texans, maybe put them at like minus 1.5, -2. Probably get decent odds like plus 130 around there. Honestly, I don't see that as a bad bet. I think the Texans win this one. They have dropped their last few games. Um, put up 2 points against the Ravens. I think they use this game as a good, kind of stepping stool into the playoffs, to make a decent statement and show that they're still, um, a relative force in the playoffs. With that injury, was it Nico Collins or Tank Dell? I know it was one of the receivers. I'm sorry, I'm blanking right now. But, definitely offense has been, you know, significantly impacted, but I still think the Texans want to make a statement here, and the Titans are definitely the team to do it against. So for the second pick of the day, I'll be taking the Texans at plus 1.5 as they take on the Titans for 1.1 units. And I forget if I specified, but the Vikings bet is also going to be for 1.1 units. And then we're going to move to some basketball over here. Looking at the Jazz versus the Magic. Caught the over line sitting at 212.5. Like I said, this is kind of where, regardless of who's playing or not, or which teams are playing, kind of around anything below 215, I'm definitely going to look into. Still missing Paolo and Franz on the Magic side, but, they still have been doing decent, at least without them, Um, and the Jazz, they put up a lot of points in their games. They just have no defense. So if they're still, if their offense is still there, but they're allowing more opportunities for Orlando to score. 212 is a very easy over in my opinion. I believe the Jazz were kind of dunking on the Heat tonight. Not gonna lie. Let me take a look here. Yeah, they won 136 to 100. So, um, yeah, they do have the capabilities to put up a lot of points, but if they do that again tomorrow, that overhits. And speaking of the Heat, the whole Jimmy Butler situation is stupid. I think that situation could have been handled on both sides very differently. But I think the suspension for Jimmy Butler was deserved. Sue me. That don't care. And then the Players Association filing a grievance to overturn it. That's just dumb. If you go out there and say you're not gonna, play for your team, you definitely should be forced to not play for your team. Or if you're just gonna go out there and play 30 minutes of game and put up 5 shots. Come on. Yeah, we'll save that. We'll recap that the Jimmy Butler discussion once he actually gets traded. But yeah. So for the third pick, taking the Jazz and Magic over 212.5 points for 1.1 units. And then for a final pick of the day, this is from hockey expert Daniel. Consulted with him since he knew I was going to make it for tonight's episode. He told me to take. Give me 1 second here, guys. We're going to be taking the Hurricanes, taking on the Penguins. We're taking the Hurricanes at minus 1.5. And I asked Daniel if he had any notes or points for me to bring up, and this is what he said. Someone save Sidney Crosby. Do what you want with that information. I know that not the Panthers, I'm sorry. The Hurricanes did play tonight against the Wild. They lost 4-0. I think they look to get this game back, against a struggling Penguins team. Back at home tomorrow. So that is going to do it for Sunday's plays. We got 4 picks going out. Just a quick recap. Taking the over 56 on the Vikings and Lions game for 1.1 units. Taking the Hurricanes minus 1.5. That is sitting at even money. We'll be taking that at just 1 unit. Texans plus 1.5 for 1.1 units. Personally, I will not be adjusting the spread, but if you guys want to put it, to where the Texans are favored, maybe -2. I don't think it's a bad bet, but don't really. I'm trying to mitigate risk, and if I can go 4-0 today, that'll put us back up on the week. And then for the last pick of the day, we got the Jazz Magic over 212.5 for 1.1 units. 4.3 units in play, and yeah, we stood at 2-4 so far for the month of January. Yeah, I would like to have a winning day tomorrow. Try and bring that ratio a little closer. That's gonna do it for today, guys. Thank you for listening. Good luck betting, and we will catch you in the next one.